Hello, I'm attorney Lewis Haskell of the Law Office of Lewis S. Haskell at 16 Pine Street here in Lowell, Massachusetts. I want to talk today about non-resident aliens, people who are here without green cards and without citizenship, and the stimulus, specifically the stimulus checks that are currently being direct deposited or coming in the mail. Because there's been a lot of confusion on the subject, and it's caused me a lot of amusement, and I want to share it with you. But I also want to clear up the confusion that it's caused a lot of people because it's kind of scary. I Facebook way more than I should, but in my defense, most of my time is spent in various lawyers groups for my various areas of practice. And one group that has really been freaking out over this in the last couple days has been my immigration lawyers group. They have clients who do have work permits because, for example, they filed for asylum or they're here on DACA. Those are the scarier ones, the ones seeking adjustment of status because they're married to a US citizen or something, less scary. But particularly the DACA people, you know, they get their work permits, they get their social security numbers. Technically, legally, they're not here. They're in one of these bizarre made-up statuses that we lawyers love so much. And they're getting stimulus checks. And the Immigration Service is now really cracking down on people who fraudulently obtain government benefits. So it's like, oh my God, should my clients give the money back? Should my clients cash the check? Whatever. Here's the good news. Yes, they can. Yes, they can if they have a valid social security number. Here's the deal. The IRS has reported that non-resident aliens are not entitled to stimulus checks. Let me repeat that. The IRS has said non-resident aliens are not entitled to stimulus checks. And immigration lawyers are reading this and they're thinking, oh my God, my client's not entitled, and they're getting the check, and if they cash it, they're going to get in trouble. No. You see, to us immigration lawyers, a non-resident alien is somebody who's here but who doesn't have permanent status and doesn't have citizenship. That's what non-resident alien means to an immigration lawyer like me. But to a tax lawyer like me, non-resident alien has a completely different definition. And the IRS uses that definition, okay? USCIS uses a definition that comes from the Immigration and Nationalities Act. The IRS uses a definition that comes from the Internal Revenue Code. One of the fun things about laws is the first section of every law is called definitions. And words mean what the government says they mean or the Congress says they mean for that statute. And you can't be carrying definitions from one statute to another statute. So immigration lawyers are all freaking out because they know the definition under the Immigration and Nationalities Act and that their clients are non-residents under the Immigration and Nationalities Act, not realizing that the IRS couldn't care less about the Immigration and Nationalities Act. In fact, I dare say that although I have represented or filed taxes for probably 100 non-resident aliens, as far as the Immigration and Nationalities Act is concerned, I think I have filed one non-resident alien return for the IRS, because under the IRS's definition, every single one of these people was a resident alien when they came in to see me, even though they did not have a green card and were not eligible for a green card. In fact, most of them are H-1Bs, okay? They're here on H-1 visas, which are by definition non-immigrant. By definition, if you're here on an H-1, you're a non-resident alien. And yet, as far as the IRS is concerned, because they've been here more than 31 days in the current year, and they've been here for more than 183 days in the last 3 years. Although be careful with that, because the way they count to 183 is weird. But it's the IRS. They've got to make it complicated, otherwise we tax lawyers will be out of business. But as a general rule, the people who we're worried about, the H-1Bs who I file taxes for, but the people receiving asylum, the DACA people, whatever, they're not traveling. Okay, they're just simply here. They come to the country, they stay here. The people seeking adjustment of status, and as a general rule, if you've got a work permit, if you're work eligible, odds are you meet the IRS's definition of a resident alien. If you've got a social security number, because that is a requirement for stimulus, by the way, that you have a social security number. I have a lot of clients who I get ITIN numbers for. They're not entitled to stimulus just because it's an ITIN and not a social. But if you have a social security number and you have a work permit, because the IRS does require that you be work eligible, then you're probably a resident alien for tax purposes and thus stimulus purposes. I suppose there could be a case where somebody got a you would have had to gotten a social security number in 2019, but it received a social security number in 2019 and hasn't been here for 6 months yet. I guess that's possible. But that's really threading a needle, and that's assuming a level of efficiency on the part of the Immigration Service that really doesn't exist. So I dare say, if you've got your work permit, you've got your social security number, you filed a tax return, or otherwise have signed up for the stimulus, you're good, and you're committing no fraud whatsoever, because the law specifically allows it. You just have to use the definition from the correct law. So I hope I cleared up any confusion. If people, need assistance either for their tax matters or their immigration matters, I am a one-stop shop. In fact, I do these ITINs because I'm a certifying acceptance agent, which kind of brings the two together. But until I see you, or have the opportunity to meet with you, either in person or through the various media that my office has set up for socially distant legal representation, please stay safe and stay healthy, and I look forward to serving you. Thank you.